You've probably tried a lot of strategies and it hasn't worked. And you're wondering, why is that? Why isn't my reel getting a million leads? Potentially there's the other way around where you're doing all the energetic work, but you're missing the strategy. Why isn't my content bringing me in paying clients into my DM? Your launch is where it generates the most money. Now, what would your business look like without the launches? You'd probably be fucked financially. How do we actually create an irresistible offer? And I'm not telling you to be a trickster. I'm not telling you to be manipulative. I'm talking about, welcome to the Alex Tripod Show. Guess what? You don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you're willing to fucking become. Nothing's real, everything's a hologram, and you're about to bend it all in your favor. Let's fucking go. How I generated $1 million worth in sales revenue in 90 days. In fact, it was less than 90 days. It was within 10 and a half weeks. And this was earlier this year. And more importantly, I want to talk you through how you and what you need to do in order to manifest $1 million in 90 days. And the thing is, listening to this, it's like, I think where I want to start, because there's so many moving parts with this. And I want to also pre-frame, I had a pretty shitty night's sleep last night because we forgot to turn the fan on and we were both overheated. So you're dealing with a little bit of a clunky brain today, but I'm going to give you so much value and you're going to love it. We're going to talk about how I did this strategically, and then we're going to talk about energetically the identity I needed to embody in order for this to work. Because if you're listening to this, hopefully by now you know that my podcast isn't just about manifestation and quantum jumping and manifestation tools. Like, I love that stuff. I'm obsessed with that stuff. I'm very obsessed with identity recalibration. And also, I didn't build a multi-seven-figure empire by meditating on my navel all day and hoping and wishing and saying a few fluffy affirmations. So I want to give you the real combination of both, because if you're listening to this, you've probably, tried a lot of strategies that promise you the world and it hasn't worked. And you're wondering, why is that? Or potentially there's the other way around where you're doing all the energetic work, but you're missing the strategy. And this is what I see with a lot of coaches, or if you're an affiliate marketer, or if you're an entrepreneur, if you sell some sort of product or service that helps in some way, shape or form, humanity raise its vibration. What I mean by that is, if you have a product or service and you have a personal brand, an online presence, and in some way, shape or form, your product or service helps your client emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, or energetically, you have a 5D product. You are a light worker. And also, you're probably my client. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Okay, so in a nutshell, I truly believe people are either way too focused on strategy and not identity, or they're doing all the manifestation stuff and they're not taking the action to implement the strategy necessary. And what ends up happening, and what was happening for me as well, I talk through experience, is that it kind of feels like you're on this launch hamster wheel. And if you're a coach and you're listening to this, you know what I'm talking about, where your launch is where it generates the most money. Like, you do 2 or 3 or 5 launches a year and they're your biggest spikes in income. Now, what would your business look like without the launches? You'd probably be fucked financially, right? And so this is about getting off the launch hamster wheel and looking at this big thing that you've got to promote and launch for that to be your sole income. Plus, it's actually tiring. Plus, sometimes when you're not getting the soul downloads, it can feel quite manufactured. Like, you've just got to manufacture a masterclass. I've got to manufacture and pull a fucking rabbit out of the hat, pull something out of my ass because I need money, right? Now, if you're not a coach, but you still have an online personal brand, this could look like maybe you don't launch, but maybe you're just tired of guessing where to direct traffic. Okay, what am I posting today? What keyword am I getting them to DM me? What am I selling? Like, what am I actually doing? Am I actually in alignment with scaling to 7 figures or multi-7 figures without burning out? And I'm going to talk through all of it. So let's talk about, first and foremost, the funnel. Let's talk about the strategy. So I've touched on this before in a previous episode, and I'm trusting that there's new audience coming into my podcast, into my world. And also, if you haven't got a fully self-liquidating, incredible funnel bringing you in 300 to 500 leads a month, re-listen, my love. There's going to be nuances and 1% refinements that you're going to pick up from this episode. So basically, as you know, I've made a movie. If you haven't fucking watched it, go fucking watch it. I love you. God, Tide makes me brutal. I decided to create a funnel. Basically, and what I mean by a funnel, if you're a newbie, and I'm going to assume you know what a funnel means, but a funnel is kind of like a journey that you take your audience through. Now, this could be warm audience, it could be cold traffic and audience from a Facebook ad. So you're taking them through a buyer's journey. You're not just slam, buy my movie, or slam, buy my 10K program, right? You're warming them up. You're bringing in quality leads, quality people that value investing in themselves, that are growth and evolution driven, that want to transform their lives, and they're coming into your world. But it's up to you, and it's your responsibility to not get entitled and be like, why isn't my reel going like getting a million leads? Why isn't my content bringing me in paying clients into my DMs? And so this is where we get to streamline and get really clear, like massive clarity on like, what am I creating on a weekly basis? What am I posting my stories? What am I directing traffic to? Because when you have I currently have 3 funnels at the moment. They're all fully self-liquidating. Some are profitable. But when you have one funnel that speaks directly to your ideal client's needs, desires, pain points, aspirations, right? The transformation, and you're giving an irresistible offer, something that you could sell that's actually valued at $997 or beyond $2,000. And I'm not saying to like make your 5K program and give it for free. That's not what I'm saying. It's the perceived value. It's a perceived value that they're getting all this stuff, right, for a one-time payment of $27 or $11 or $7 or whatever it is. It's an entry point payment. And so this is where you set up something that not only speaks to your ideal clients, but it takes them through a journey. And so my funnel, I built a funnel for my movie, and I mean, you can take yourself through it, but basically it wasn't just how we made it an irresistible offer. It wasn't just buy my movie, right? Because I can guarantee you, if I had a landing page with just a trailer of the movie, buy my movie for $11 USD, that would convert at probably half the rate than what we designed within the funnel. So I sat and I strategized with myself, with my coach, with all these experts. How do we actually create an irresistible offer so people are getting like, holy shit, this 90-minute documentary movie where Alex has compacted her 10 years worth of obsession and knowledge of manifestation, $1 million that she's invested in her own personal growth and retreats and masterminds and coaches into this one 90-minute thing. But then, okay, that's great. How do we then make it even more incredible? So when people land on this page, they feel like an absolute tool if they don't whip out their credit card and buy this thing. Like they need it. Like this is crazy to not buy it. Again, I'm not telling you to be a trickster. I'm not telling you to be manipulative. I'm talking about creating an irresistible offer. So for me, I started looking at, okay, they've got the movie, but what else do they need? They need to implement. Maybe there's some things that I talk about in the movie that immediately as bonuses, they can get like how to implement the magical script, how to actually take action on their downloads, how to actually shift their financial thermostat. So there's all these things that I touch in the movie, and I basically explain on the landing page, plus you get this and this and this and this. And that's why my movie funnel isn't called the manifestation game, watch the movie. It's called Manifestation X Action, which is like manifestation meets action. And I really speak to the gap of so many people that are like, kumbaya, I'm raising my vibration. Yeah, but are you fucking implementing? This is not just information. You're actually going to implement the tools that transformed my life 9.5 years ago when I opted out of a 9-to-5 job to follow my dreams, right? So people are like, holy shit, I not only get the movie, but I get the same tools that Alex used 9.5 years ago to transform her life for $11 USD. This is insane. And the way it's done, like it's like there's a process, there's a formula. By the way, like it's never my intention to sound like pitchy and salesy on these podcasts. My value is always to give so much value. Sometimes it pains me though when people are like, I'm going to do it myself. I'm just going to copy and paste that and do it myself. And then like, I promise you 6 months from now, your funnel's going to be a fucking flop. Because you didn't have the courage to be like, well, what if I explored actually investing in a coach? Doesn't have to be me. What if I invested in an expert that actually has living, breathing proof that she has done it, she or he has done it, and I was able to bridge the gap faster and actually invest in a strategy that works instead of trying to guess and do it myself. Like this is also a big reason where I'm at, because I literally find people that have the life that I want, that have the results that I desire, and I invest to work with them to teach me how to do the exact same thing. And not only are we working on the strategy, but then I'm also upgrading who I need to be for the strategy to work. I'm not looking at it like a fucking fix-it solution. I'm like, cool, great strategy, awesome. What do I need to think, believe, and feel in order for that thing to work for my business, right? This is something we go and covering deeply in my mastermind, okay? And so if you want literally step-by-step walkthroughs on like my movie funnel, the psychology behind it, the transcripts, the 7-part email sequence where we're getting people to book in a chat with my team, full like formulas that you can copy paste into ChatGPT so it can create your own thing, like that's all available in my Mission and Millions Mastermind. So if you are keen and you're ready to come play and swim maybe in I always talk to people that are ready to upgrade their lives. It's like, oh, I'm used to being the bigger fish in a smaller pond, but am I ready to be a smaller fish in a bigger pond so I can actually quantum shift and be raised and uplifted by people that are already doing multi-6 figures, 7 figures, multi-7 figures? And so, yeah, this is something we go super deep on in the mastermind and also in my 4-day intensives, which are part of my mastermind. So if that interests you, you can click the link in the show notes to find out more, or you can actually just DM me, Mastermind or 7 figures, and I'll know what you're talking about. You can have a little VM back and forth chat. When it feels aligned and I feel like you're the right fit, I'm more than happy to jump on a quick call with you. All right, so the funnel, amazing. And then basically why it's self-liquidating, and here's a trick. Here's a little hack. Here's a thing that you've probably seen a million times, but until I explain it to you, you're like, oh, that's what's happening. So you buy the $11 thing. On the checkout page, there is an option for you to click, yes, I want Alex's secret 7-figure morning secrets BTS audio. And so you're clicking that for an additional $27 or $17. And so what that means is you're already going to buy the $11 thing, and now there's a bump order there. It's no different to me going to Sephora, buying what I want, and then be like, oh, of course I need these makeup wipes and this extra magic thing. And like, it's just like extra, like speaking to my other desires right while I'm going to go purchase. I'm already whipping out my credit card. I'm already in the buyer's mindset. And then here's these other offers. And so this is where, again, you want to create a really incredible, irresistible offer that is going to be like, typically a good bump order should be anywhere between 25 to 40%. Like if you're converting your bump order at 25 to 40%, that means your bump order is killer. And then on the thank you page of that, it's not just thank you, your goodies are delivered. No, you then want to also offer them something called an OTO, which is a one-time offer. And now what this looks like, and by the way, the magic to this as well, always think of the end result. And then like, it can't just be scattered offers. It all needs to make sense, right? It all needs to be around things that they actually need. So the OTO typically is something that's going to enhance the thing that they bought at the front. So a lot of coaches are like, oh, you bought that thing? How about we do it for you for, $497 and booking this call with us so we walk you through it? Or you bought this thing? How about you buy this thing that's going to accelerate that little like $11 thing that you bought? So my OTO is basically a 8-module manifestation accelerator where I've created a very potent 8-module accelerator with templates and scripts and video trainings that help you implement everything that you heard on the movie. And now this is really cool because I can go whole thing around, are you ready to implement? Are you actually ready to change your life? Again, a really good OTO converts anywhere between 8 to 10%, okay? I'm going to say full transparency. I don't even know why I'm sharing this shit with you. I use Kartra for everything. I guess platform that really is the bee's knees for everything. People are like, oh, it's go high level. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. Ultimately, I use Kartra, which means when you're on the OTO page, you have to reinsert your credit card details, which would mean for me there'd be quite a big drop between that page and people purchasing the OTO, because you don't want people being like in their heads, I have to get my credit card again, I have to retype the numbers. So you'll see with ClickFunnels and other platforms, it's actually just like, yes, I want to upgrade my order. And it's just a button and then it literally just charges the card. You kind of want to build it on that platform. So I would probably recommend not doing it on Kartra. We're probably going to move our entire platform. I've just been resisting it because We've got 30,000 emails in there and about 150 landing pages on it. And if you know a good one, DM me. I'm really open to switching, guys. God, this is really conversational, this podcast episode. Anyway, so from there, and then I'm not going to go into that, but that's basically the strategy. Why it's called a self-liquidating offer is because when I go to my Facebook ads manager and say, hey, I would like to plug in $15,000. Now, don't let that figure scare you. We've only recently started going to about $20,000 a month in Facebook ads. But I used to do about 8K. Before that, I used to do like $500 a week, right? But I wanted to share this with you because self-liquidating means I plug in 20K, I get back 20K. Not because everyone bought. You're going to drive so much traffic through your ad creatives to that landing page. You'd be lucky if you get a 10% conversion rate on that front end page. But it's your job to recoup as much as you can within that funnel. So then what that means is you're actually making enough money to break even with the amount that you're spending on your Facebook ads. The really cool thing about this is when I first launched my movie funnel, because I was launching it to my organic database, I was posting 10 reels a week, putting it on my stories. I was in the excitement. I just had my premiere at the movies. I was in the vibe of it. So we were doing Facebook ads, but I was also promoting a fuck ton every single day. And so what that meant is I wasn't even spending money on Facebook ads and people were coming through the funnel. So I was making like the start like 10 to 20K per week just through this funnel. And essentially, when you set this up properly, and this is really only for people that are ready to scale and you've got a scalable offer suite, which I'm going to go into in another episode. But essentially, this is giving you free leads. Again, I hate calling incredible soulmate clients and humans leads, but for the purposes of this conversation, you're getting free leads because you put $100 into the funnel, you get $100 back and you've got 4 leads. Yay, that's 4 leads for you to be in your email database, for you to warm up through your email sequence, for you to maybe give them a call, your sales team to give them a call and do outbound calls. There's so many different ways. And this is where I also strategize with my clients. Like, where are you at? Do you have a sales team? Do you not have a sales team? What's the missing gap? What do you need to do? And we like tailor make the funnel in accordance to the support they have and the current team that they have to support them, if that makes sense. So that's the funnel. That's the funnel. And I just want to add in there something really exciting about this is because it's one thing for you to be like, well, that's really great that that works for you, Alex. And I've been building out this funnel for my mastermind clients and recently for my best friend, Athena Kroll, who's in another episode. And she actually said to me the other day, babe, use me as a testimonial. These fucking results are insane. So me and her had an actual VIP day. And even though she's been in my mastermind and she's heard me unpack it in the 4-day live intensives, Athena's a little bit like me, where she's like, I'd rather go direct to the source, pay a premium price, and you just fucking let's do it together and personalize it for me. I've got the money, let's do it together. So we had like a VIP day, which people might find a bit weird that we're still like 3 years into our friendship, we're best friends and we're still paying each other for our services, but it just feels really clean that way. And we both have magic and codes for each other, right? So she comes over, we map it all out. I like literally like everything. This is a copy for this, the copy for that. Like 5 hours, we did everything. This is what you need to delegate. This is what you need to design. Left my apartment with a full clear map, what she needs to design, what she needs to record, what needs to happen, what the bump order is, what the OTO, everything. And she then hires a Facebook ads manager and she's messaging me being like, what the fuck, Alex? Like, I thought this was self-liquidating. I've actually 6x'd my return on investment. So what she's plugging in, she's making 6 times in returning revenue. And I'm like, she's like, am I the anomaly? I'm like, and it's funny because she was interviewing quite a few Facebook ad strategists before she landed on the one she said yes to. And one of them was like, she was talking about how she wants to drive traffic to this funnel she's building out that one of her coaches is helping her map out. And she's like, you know, it's fully self-liquidating. Her movie funnel's self-liquidating. He's like, that's not correct. That's not possible. She's fucking lying. So this like dense 3D Facebook ad manager was like, that's not possible to have a fully self-liquidating funnel. She's lying. Well, okay, yeah, it's not possible. It's possible to have a 6x ROI funnel, right? So it's fucking cool because we'd like to find the odds of like 3D bro marketing, because and this goes to show when you get the offer right and when you're actually providing value, when you're in a high frequency like I am, like Athena is, and I said to her, babe, like this is better results than the average person, but it's also because you've really nailed your avatar. You're really speaking to your soulmate avatar. So you're taking them through a journey, you're giving them what they want for an irresistible price. Now that means her email database is going to be increasing with actually ideal soulmate clients, which she's eventually going to upsell into her Channeled Spirit Academy and or other programs, right? Legend, quick pause. If you're already making 10 to 30K months and you're ready to scale to 7 figures with support, strategy, and savage self-leadership, then you belong in my mastermind, Mission and Millions. This is where high-level entrepreneurs come to expand their capacity, master 5D business, and bust into a whole new financial paradigm. If that's you, click the link in the show notes and get inside. Now let's get back to the show. Yeah, that's what I want to say about the strategy. It's fucking magic. And honestly, up until last year, I'm going to say like 8 years into my business, I was still on the launch hamster wheel. Like my biggest income spikes would come from the science behind manifestation masterclass, money, like it would be like 21-day challenges. Without those launches, I'd be fucked. And now this funnel allows me to make anywhere between 150 to 400K months. And I do nothing. It's done. And then I'm just going to touch slightly on, which I'm going to do a lot deeper in other episodes. But as you know, the results of this funnel was actually determined by who I was being, the woman that I was being whilst I was launching it. Was I panicked? Was I looking at the opt-in rate every day? Was I freaking out about investing? Was I need the validation? Was I in fear? Was I in scarcity? No, I decided to tap into the version of me energetically and live in the end result and paint my subconscious mind the felt experience of the Facebook ads working, it being fully self-liquidating, people streaming in, sales rolling in every day. And I didn't actually attach to $1 million in 90 days. I had no idea we were going to make that at the start of 2025, to be honest. It exceeded my expectations. But I was in the feeling states of just that abundance, that flow, sales flowing, everything's working. And I think a lot of the time, a lot of business owners have like, this is hard, sales are clunky, why is my cash flow down, where are my clients, sales aren't flowing. And you didn't even realize that that's your insistent chitter chatter going on. And when that's your insistent dominant internal chitter chatter, then of course you're going to be vibrating in a reality where the hologram has to keep showing you that. So it's not just your job to invest in a mentor that's going to show you this strategy, how to get off the launch hamster wheel, but it's also your duty to then also work with me or buy Manifest AI or find out a way that you can properly energetically tap into the identity, the version of you who thinks, feels, and believes and is operating in the earth where it's all fucking working, where clients are flowing in, where the bank account is rising, right? And there's a fine line between attaching and needing the results to validate you, but also coding yourself so your nervous system feels safe to receive this. The reason that I'm so hell-bent on these energetic and vibrational practices is because I'm coding myself to normalize millions, normalizing abundance, normalizing business being easy, normalizing people wanting to work with me, right? So me tapping into this audio that I created for myself 4 times a day, it normalized it. So when I hit $1 million in 90 days, in 10 weeks, it wasn't like, oh my God. It was like, awesome. How do we keep this going? What needs to happen, right? So I'm going to leave it at that because that's a lot of information. I love you guys. Yeah, and just to be really clear, like 5D you is more tailored to the beautiful soul who's more at like anywhere between the 0 to 15K months. You're ready to scale to 20, 30, 40K months, but you don't really have like lead magnets in place or like you really want to become more of the authority in your space. So 5DU students, more for people that want to scale to 6 figures and multi-6 figures. So I don't throw you in the deep end with $1 million funnels. It would fry your brain, right? And then my mastermind, we concentrate on all this stuff to really scale, right? Because if you're only under like 15K months, the reality is you're probably not ready to scale to 100K consistent months. Your business and your offer suite is probably not aligned for that, and neither is your subconscious programming. You'd probably freak the fuck out. So although I love quantum shifting, yes, I have a lot of clients coming into 5DU and that's their starting point. And within 3-4 months, they've already hit 30, 40K months and we just upgrade them into the mastermind. So if you're keen to explore, I'm sure we'll put a link in the show notes below of how to book in a call with my team or watch my movie or come into my world and experience my magic. I love you guys and I'll see you on the next episode. Mwah. Thanks for tuning into the Alex Tripod Show. If this episode activated something inside of you, leave a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify and hit that subscribe button on YouTube so you never miss a frequency drop. Because this isn't just a podcast, it's a mission to raise the vibration of humanity, to awaken millions, to build new earth, one lit up legend at a time. And if you're ready to go deeper, wilder, and all in on your soul's legacy, come play on Instagram at Alex Tripod. I'm there daily dropping codes, calling out bullshit, and helping you manifest the life you actually want. Let's keep playing big because we're only just getting started.